Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really unpack things and focus on what's important.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Exactly. And today we're diving into Buchanan Technology Consultants, or BTC. We literally just finished talking with Derek Buchanan, the owner.
Really interesting conversation. We've also got their, service info and background materials here.
Right. So the mission for this deep dive is to get to the heart of BTC. What are the motivations, the core values, the aspirations?
And crucially, what does that mean for you if you're running a small business? It's about the why behind the tech.
Okay, so let's jump right in. The first big question I put to Derek was pretty fundamental. What actually led you to start Buchanan Technology Consultants?
And his answer wasn't just a simple, I saw a gap in the market, was it? It was rooted in experience.
Very much so. He talked about seeing firsthand, how small businesses were often, well, let's just say, not treated great by the bigger managed service providers, the MSP.
Right. That came through strongly. It wasn't just a business plan. It started from a specific frustration. He saw these companies feeling like an afterthought.
Yeah, he used phrases like overcharged, underserved, or simply misunderstood. That tells you a lot right off the bat, doesn't it?
It really does. It signals a mission to, do IT differently.
Absolutely. And out of that frustration grew this core belief he mentioned. Small businesses deserve world-class support.
Without the enterprise-level headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Sort of simplifying things, but keeping the quality high.
Precisely. So following that, I asked him, okay, why specifically focus only on small businesses? What was the inspiration there?
And that answer, I thought, showed a real respect for that sector. He didn't just see it as a niche market.
No, he called them the heart of our communities. He talked about the people running them, how they hustle harder, care deeper. You could tell it wasn't just business speak.
Definitely. And he stressed that they're committed to building everything, the systems, the solutions, even how they interact specifically for small businesses. It's not just a scaled-down version of an enterprise offering.
He even mentioned being inspired by their resilience.
Which ties back to that point about the mismatch with the larger MSPs, right? That seems like a core problem he wanted to solve.
Yeah, he really elaborated on that. He described it as a fundamental misalignment.
Because large MSPs, well, they're naturally geared towards big clients, complex needs, and then they try to shoehorn smaller businesses into that same model.
And the result? Small businesses end up paying for stuff they don't need, features they don't understand, trying to work with a system built for someone else entirely.
It just doesn't fit. And the support side sounded rough, too.
Oh, yeah. He mentioned tickets, queues, and excuses. You can just picture it, right? Impersonal, frustrating, especially when your tech is down and you need help now.
Exactly. That lack of personal touch is a huge pain point. Small business owners often need someone who gets the urgency, gets their specific situation.
Which brings us nicely to, well, BTC's core philosophy. I asked Derek straight up, what's the overall vision for Buchanan Technology Consultants?
And his answer was so concise, where trust leads and tech follows.
I really like that. It flips the usual script, doesn't it? Focus on the relationship, the trust first.
Then the technology serves that trust, serves the client's needs. He said he sees BTC as a partner-driven force.
Aiming to simplify the complex stuff, empower the clients.
And the goal isn't just selling tech, it's delivering real value transformation, not just tools, helping clients dream bigger, scale smarter.
And sleep easier. That last one probably resonates with a lot of business owners. It directly tackles those frustrations he saw.
For sure. So looking ahead, you asked him about the next 5 years, right? What's the outlook for BTC?
I did. And they've got some pretty ambitious goals.
Sounds like it. He wants BTC to be, a name people recognize and recommend, specifically small business owners across Canada.
Yeah, nationwide recognition. He talked about strategic expansion, but also refining their core offerings, like their TIES technology as a service and automation.
Which, just to clarify, TIES helps make tech costs predictable and management proactive, right? Less reactive firefighting.
Exactly. And interestingly, he also mentioned creating educational platforms, making tech knowledge more accessible for small business owners.
That's smart. Empowering them beyond just fixing things. And he mentioned the team, too.
He did. Really emphasized building a passionate team aligned with the mission. It's not just about growth. It's about the people delivering that trusted service. He clearly gets that.
Right, because the vision relies on them. Okay, so beyond 5 years, did you get a sense of the really long-term goals? the legacy.
Yeah, I pushed on that, and
Yeah.
that's where you see the bigger picture emerge.
He talked about building a legacy brand for value-based IT leadership. So more than just service delivery, setting a standard, maybe?
Setting a standard, yeah. And also giving back, mentoring people coming into IT, collaborating with other local businesses.
Supporting organizations with similar values. It kind of loops back to that initial idea of supporting the heart of our communities, doesn't it?
It really does. It paints a picture of being invested in the whole ecosystem.
Mm.
Okay, so that's the vision, the ambition. But how do they know if they're actually achieving it for their clients? How did Derek say they define success?
Well, interestingly, it's not purely technical for him. A huge indicator is when a client feels like they're in control again with their tech.
Ah, that feeling of control makes sense.
Yeah, it's about their team working better, feeling more confident, and crucially, the owner feeling less stressed about IT stuff.
So success for the client isn't just uptime percentage. It's about the impact on the business itself. Efficiency, owner focus, growth.
Exactly. Tangible business benefits stemming from the tech partnership.
So what specific outcomes are they aiming for then? What does success look like in practical terms for a BTC client?
He listed a few key things. Reducing wasted time and money on tech that doesn't fit. Building genuine confidence in the systems, in the decisions they make about IT. Okay.
Automating those repetitive tasks that eat up time. Strengthening cybersecurity, but importantly, without making it overwhelming for the client.
That's a tricky balance.
It is. And finally, making sure the IT strategy genuinely supports the overall business goals, not just tech for tech's sake.
Right. Which, sounds great, but measuring some of that, like confidence or less stress, that's harder than tracking server uptime. How do they actually measure their impact?
That's a fair point. He said they use a blend hard data and human feedback.
Okay, so they do track the usual metrics, uptime, support tickets, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But they put a really high value on actually listening to the clients, talking to them, getting feedback.
So things like, are the staff happier with the tech? Are meetings running smoother? Are processes faster?
Exactly those kinds of things. He even mentioned looking for those moments when a client says, wow, I didn't know you could do that.
Ah, that's a good one. That signals a real shift in how they see technology, right? Not just a necessary evil, but a tool for improvement. Precisely. Moving beyond just fixing problems to actually showing potential. And apparently a key part of ensuring they stay on track is something called the value framework. Tell us about that.
Right, the value framework. It's an acronym, and it sounds like it's basically their compass for every project. VALUE.
Okay, break it down for us.
So V is for vision. What's the big picture goal here? A is for achieve. How will we know we succeeded? What are the measurable results? L is for logic. Does this solution actually make strategic sense for this specific business?
Makes sense so far.
U is for utility. How will people actually use this day to day? Will it genuinely help the team? And E is for economic. Does the cost make sense? Is it a sound investment for the client?
Wow. Okay, so every project gets filtered through all 5 of those.
That's the idea. It has to align across all 5 areas.
That's pretty rigorous. It forces them to think beyond just the technical solution and really consider the business impact from all angles. What prompted him to develop that?
He said it came from, again, that frustration. Seeing tech implemented just because it was new or cool, tech for tech's sake, as he put it.
Ah, right. Without a clear link to business value.
Exactly. He needed a way to bridge that gap, to talk about IT value in a way that business owners could immediately grasp, beyond just speeds and feeds. The value framework is that bridge.
I can see how that would be really helpful in conversations. How does it actually play out day to day? Is it just a checklist or?
Gave some good examples. It's embedded in their whole process, from onboarding the to client right through to deciding how to fix a recurring issue.
So before they suggest anything new,
they run through those value questions. Does this fit the client's vision? Will it lead to a measurable achievement? Does it logically fit? Is it useful day to day? Is it economically sound? It's like a constant check.
keeps everyone focused on delivering actual value, not just activity.
Okay, but building a business like this, especially focused on trust, it can't all be smooth sailing. What challenges did Derek mention facing? Yeah, he was candid about that. Some are pretty common for any small business starting out, right? Time pressure, never enough hours, building trust when you're new.
Wearing all the hats, doing the sales, the marketing, the admin, and the actual IT work.
Exactly. He specifically mentioned the difficulty of getting businesses to switch IT providers. That's a big leap of faith for a company. Trust takes time to build, especially for an intangible service like IT support.
Yeah, you can't just show them a physical product. And just the sheer volume of admin and marketing in those early days.
Definitely. So how did he tackle those challenges? What worked for BTC?
He really circled back to communication, telling better stories about the value they bring, asking better questions to understand needs, and just listening more effectively.
Listening seems to be a recurring theme.
It really does. Also, prioritizing consistency progress over perfection, not getting bogged down trying to make everything flawless immediately, and practically delegating as they grew and using tools like Microsoft 365 and automation to make their own operations more efficient.
Using their own medicine, so to speak. Makes sense.
Good.
Okay, so wrapping things up, based on everything he's learned building BTC, what was his main advice for other small business owners out there?
It was really solid advice, I thought, applicable way beyond just tech. First, know your why, start with that purpose, make sure it connects with your clients.
That passion piece.
Yeah, then focus on progress, not perfection. Just keep moving forward, iterate, listen more than you talk. Building those relationships is key.
Good advice for life, really.
True. Surround yourself with good people, maybe find a mentor. And finally, simplify. Cut through complexity wherever you can.
Simplify. That feels like it captures a lot of what BTC aims to do for its clients, too.
It does, doesn't it? So really, this deep dive into BTC, talking with Derek, it showed a company built on a genuine frustration with the status quo for small business IT.
Yeah, and a real desire to offer something different, focused on trust, on partnership, on delivering tangible value guided by that practical value framework.
It's clear it's not just about fixing computers for him. It's about empowering those small business owners, helping them succeed.
Absolutely. Our chat really highlighted that deep commitment, a belief in the importance of small businesses.
Which leaves us with something for you, the listener, to think about. How much does a clearly defined set of values, a strong why, drive what you do, whether it's in business or another part of your life?
How does that purpose shape your actions and the impact you have? What's your why, and how clearly is it guiding your path?